Hi, everyone, and welcome back to my YouTube channel, where I'm going to be answering some questions from the audience, so the heart and soul questions. So we are going to start with, first, before I start with the questions, I just want to make the little reminder that I do want to keep the videos a little on the shorter side, so I tune into these questions ahead of time and write them down. I'll use my pendulum to verify that those are the answers. Just because I will take a lot more time in doing that. So that's how I'm kind of rolling right at the moment. And so I'm going to try these glasses today because I really just need glasses to read. I'm trying to find things that don't glare. So it's been a kind of an adventure. So we're going to start with questions from Bozina from the UK. And she says, I was visiting a friend the other day, and this was April 1st, the other day, and her cat was looking at me in a strange way, like he was in shock. Let me do this here first. So the cat was giving her some different looks. So she was wondering what the cat may have seen. Okay, Bozina, I was looking into that, and let me support my arm on the box. And the answer that I get for that is that the cat saw an angelic presence behind you. It was mesmerizing to the cat and comforting. So I believe the cat communicated telepathically with the angelic being. It looked like a bright golden glow, and the shape was an image of a person. I get that it is one of your guardian angels that protects you and is around you often. So, and animals are pretty intuitive and are pretty open, and they'll see those kind of things, whether you have the ETs visiting you or whatnot. So, pay attention to your animals and their reactions when they're just like looking off into the corner, like there's nothing there. They probably see something. So she also asks, Bozina asks, I wonder how my mama is doing. She passed 5 years ago. I had a dream about her and I needed a wheelchair for her. And someone said, no, you need a pushchair for her, like a baby. So that's what her dream was about. So then basically what I get in tuning in is that I get that your mom has reincarnated and she is a baby at this time. So that is why the pushchair came through. I get that she does not live close to you right now, but in another country. And when I asked what country, it spelled out Holland. So said that she wanted to be here for the golden age and moving through and so forth. So that's kind of exciting. So hope that is interesting for you, Bozina. Okay, we're going to go to a question from Wendy. Okay, so Wendy, again, this was in February. So she says, my question is about a dream I had. It was a short dream. There were two small dragons flying in front of me at eye level, about 2 feet away from me. They were flying and tossing an egg back and forth. I do believe they were giving me this egg, or they were going to give this egg to me, but I woke up before I caught it. Can you tell me what this dream meant? Okay. So basically, when I looked into it, Wendy, I get that that no, it wasn't really about throwing you the egg. That is not what they were intending. It was about showing you playfulness. Okay. So after that part came through, I was just kind of asking a few other questions, and I get a feeling that maybe you've been pressured or feeling criticized, whether it's somebody in your family, whether it's community or whatever. Somehow you're under some stress. And so this message of playfulness was for you to just lighten up and shake it off. And don't let that negativity or whatever it is that's causing you some distress, don't let it get you down. So again, like, think of your inner child and be playful. And in regards to the egg, I guess you can either grab the egg and play with the egg, or you can let it fall, which means that you would ignore that message. So that is how it came up. And higher self, is there anything more to that? So the back and forth for me is a no. The forward and backward is the yes. Okay, perfect. So I hope that that resonates for you, Wendy. We're going to go to Nancy Joe next. And this was a April question. And there were some other ones too that we might answer later. But she says, I did a past life regression where I saw myself as a reptilian. Was I a bad one? Okay. So the answer I get for that is, let me see. The answer I get is no, you were part of an army of the reptilians that protected more than harmed. Not on Earth, not in any of the underground places that we've known about. I asked what planet you were on, and it spelled out Cryon, and then it said that you were male. So no, you were not a bad one of that species. So that's good. I'm gonna go to Lisa. Lisa said, one night I felt myself go straight up through a portal, I suppose, and then come back down with a thump. I don't remember anything in between. So where did I go and what was I doing? So the answer I got for that, obviously you remember going and coming back. But what I get is that you were visiting a parallel lifetime where you were working on maintaining lovely gardens, both vegetable and flower gardens. So that's what it said when I asked what kind of gardens you're doing. So it's somewhere that you went that working on all that. So that's pretty cool. And then the next one we're going to go to is Felicia. I think that's how you say it. About 20 years ago, I found a light being in my bedroom, bent over me. I was scared and I stood up and I was looking at him. I identified it like a him. I didn't get a chance to ask him anything. Where is it from and what is he doing? Or what was he doing? I was very scared and I was asking in my mind for him to disappear. After a while, I got very curious and she tried to do some checking out, but didn't really find anything out, just suspicions. So when I check out your dream or your situation, I get that it was an ET. It was a male. It glowed due to the energies around him. What was he doing? He was bent over you to observe you and to take some tissue or some blood samples or some part of samples from you and report back to the ship. That's what we got, right? Okay. You surprised him by waking up before he could do this. Okay, so I get that they needed your blood or tissues to help one of their members on the ship that was sick. And so because they needed it right away, they moved on to someone else. And that's why they never came back. Okay, they just needed some help right away. Is that what you get to? Okay, anything more? Okay, so probably was a good thing that you surprised him in the middle of it. So good. Going to go to Kathy. And this was a February question. There's several questions I'm going to answer here. My oldest grandson told me when he was 3 years old, he had a dream. He was a soldier on a beach in Normandy on D-Day. He said he could feel how the cold water was, and let's see. He said he could feel how cold the water was and felt peace when he died on the beach. He has always loved beaches. Was this one of his previous lifetimes? He said that he is positive he was there. And then secondly, that same grandson, who is now an adult and married with his wife, they were having a hard time having a baby, but they are now pregnant with twins. Will his wife stay healthy and have both of these babies? She is a nurse and had to take the product. Okay. So first and foremost, we'll go with the grandson who said, he basically, when he was 3, said he had a dream and was in Normandy. And I get, yes, that's true. I asked if he had been a reincarnated soul from your family in the past, and it said no, that he had no connection like that, but did choose your family to be born into. I get that he hasn't had any struggles in this lifetime related to that past lifetime, but that there may be some emotions or trauma for him to acknowledge soon and release. Just like in these days right now, the energies, it's part of all of our purging as we move forward. Okay, so it's great that he has a memory, and it gives him peace, a peaceful memory, like the beaches don't bother him and so forth. But there still might be something in there that he would want to release and remove. And regarding the twins, or being pregnant with the twins, he and his wife, I get that, yes, the babies will be born and they'll be healthy. It's been about 2 months now since that question, so they might have arrived by now. I get that mom's product that she had to take because she was at work was not a bad one. It was more of a watered down or placebo type. So I get that the babies would be healthy and mom would be fine. So that's awesome. And then she says, I was the strange one in the family. I always felt like I had a hard life in previous lives and had been tortured. I am in my 70s and have not noticed any changes. Will I get any upgrades? I still have no idea what my mission for life is. So, Kathy, I just get that you are 100% crystalline and all your DNA is activated. When I ask about your mission moving forward, it tells me that you will be growing medicinal plants and possibly using them for like herbal alchemy. So making tinctures and poultices and stuff like that. So not sure if you already have like somewhat of a green thumb or you have a liking to that, but that's what it told me. Are we sticking with that? And let's see, what else do I have here? There is another one here where she says, I had my aura read a few times. One was a golden color around me. One was a blue bird above me. And then she had dolphins around her. And then she was asking, what was she? The third time she asked any guide or entity to show when my aura was being read. And there was someone with the name of Roman that was around her. Is this her guide? So what I'm saying to you is yes, your guide, one of your guides is Roman. Okay. You have other guides as well, but Roman is one of them. And remember our guides, let's see, when we're born, our guardian angels stay with us for the most part. Our guides can change. We can have additions or some drop off, and it just depending on what we're going through. So anyway, thank you for those, Kathy. I'm gonna go to Jandriel, which is pretty. So she asks, will I be moving soon? Do I stay in Colorado or move back to Texas? So what I get is yes, you will most likely be moving fairly soon. And I get that moving back to Texas is in your best interest. Okay, so Texas it is. She also asks, my purpose is my purpose music related moving forward? Will it be on a small scale or a large scale? So the answer that I get is that yes, part of your gift and purpose is with music and on a larger scale. I get that it will involve groups of people who use music and frequency to help heal the hearts of many. Those awakened already but lonely, it will help them. And for the newly awakened, to calm their fears and reassure them as they move into the changes that we're going through. So one thing that I see too, that it includes teaching others to use their own musical gifts for this purpose. So yeah, you will definitely be involved with music, and music, as anything with frequency and so forth, is going to be a big part of our world moving forward. So that's exciting. Okay, we're going to go to Marlena. Marlena is next, and she says, is my mission related to the little ones? You know what I mean. But how, where, and when? So I get that yes, Marlena, yes, that you will be working with younger children. And I get it, it would range from infants to even up to 18. But you will be part of a group or a network of people helping the orphan children, including the ones that were saved and are healing. You will be involved with programs that heal and assist them, and certainly find loving homes for them. I even get that you may adopt yourself, possibly 2 children. Okay. This will occur not only in the area that you live, but I do get, let's see, but you will be involved with programs like this in many places. So maybe you'll be, managing or getting other groups to do the same. So I do get that one of the other things you ask here is, will my twin flame come and join me in this mission? Our path is years long and very tribulated. I need a bit of guidance. So when I ask about your twin flame, I get that the twin flame will come, you will meet back up and will assist you. I get that it will be female. It will be a female, your twin flame. And it tells me approximately 4 months-ish. We know that time is not something we want to hang our hat on, but I ask further and I get that you may meet at one of the board meetings or the planning meetings involving the mission that I just spoke about. And you may know you will know each other, but it says that you may feel goosebumps when you talk for the first time. Is that what you give me? You may feel goosebumps when talking for the first time. Okay, so that's kind of exciting, but yes, you will have a mission with the children, and your twin flame will be in your life again. So beautiful. I'm gonna go to Susan. And hi, y'all, Susan says, she's from Texas. The best way can I get information on the best way to connect to my higher self? I feel like I've been trying for the past 16 years and failing. I think I've blocked myself somehow because I know I was connected when I was younger. I've experienced randomly, absolutely knowing things that I had no way of knowing. Talking to my uncle when he passed, knowing when a couple of people were going to pass, taking pain and sickness from people I love. And what I have come to realize was seeing the bad in people when I met them for the first time. Therefore, I didn't recognize them the second time. The second time I saw them, because I originally had seen somebody different. Okay, so basically, I have no idea how I did any of it because it just happened. That was a very natural thing for her. So advice on how to get these gifts back, or any other gifts of knowledge, because she would purposely like to use them and connect to source. So, okay. Hopefully I read that properly and it made sense. The answer is, first, I think the first thing that came in was that your higher self wants you to be protected. Okay. Your connection was strong without you trying, and you were very open, and you were especially trusting and vulnerable. The more open with those gifts, the more you shine like a beacon to other beings. And that's the good people, and they're the good beings and the bad beings. So I get the sense that having it shut down kept you from harm. Okay. As in, nefarious things that may have happened to you, or you being targeted and having a lot of difficulty in your life because of that. So your sweet and happy self, it said, was in jeopardy if you continued with your gifts like you were going. So as far as getting them back, I get that you are doing well with your ascension process right now. And very soon it will return, most likely as soon as things, get completely cleaned up and settled, as we're all waiting for that to happen. So after all the nefarious characters are out of the mix and so forth, and that we're all more safe with those kind of powers. So it also says just for you to relax. know that those gifts never left you. They are still there, but don't try too hard. You need to just it'll just make you upset. So have conversations with your higher self. And timing is key. And again, the higher self is going to give us things that are only, the timing, it's only best for us. So your gifts are there. You will be getting them back. And we are moving into a much safer place soon. The next question is from Deanna. And she says, I was told I am an incarnated angel, not sure what any of my past lives were or what my mission truly is. I'm excited to get more of my gifts. I have always been a giver and helping others. So, yes, Deanna, I do get that you are from the angelic realm, most likely one of your more recent lifetimes before you came into this one. I get that you have over 250,000 lifetimes. That's the number I got. But regarding your mission, I get your mission is to spread joy and offer compassion in these times ahead. I don't have specifics as far as how you will do that or, what the job would entail, but you will be helping and guiding many people in this way. And again, you already had said that, you have always been a helper and a giver. So that will continue in the way that you know how to do it best. It'll be a natural step for you. Okay. She says, I have one son and I often worry about him. He is more like me than his dad, whom I divorced 20 years ago. And they have never really had much of a relationship because of his dad's drug addictions and mental illness. I know all this really works on him. I talk with him about what's going on in the world to try to open his eyes. He listens, but doesn't take me serious because he doesn't hear it on the fake and news. So do you believe or do you feel anything in regards to him that we could share? So what I get, Deanna, I get that he indeed is more like you. He's a good boy or man, probably at this point. I hear time will tell what his soul chooses, in quotations. He is still deciding if he wants to ascend. And at this time, it is best to not try to push information on him. Show him in a silent way by how you behave and how you respond to things without having the verbal explanation, unless he asks. The reverse psychology at this time may jolt him forward more effectively. He is a much younger soul than you, and I get that you have had 4 lifetimes with him, or with your son, and likely you will have others in the future. Do you agree with all that? So I think the best thing is to remember also that we all have our own, we've all had our own soul contracts, and we have to make our own decisions, our own mistakes and so forth. And certainly as parents, we try to be the fixer of so many things. So just live by your actions. And then if he sees certain things that you are doing without having been told them, or spark some different other little questions to him that makes him think rather than feeding him and pushing information to him. So that might be the better approach. And again, it'll be his decision. There's many people on that boat right now. They kind of could go many different ways. So wish you well on that. So the next questions will be from Barbara. This again was in February. When I was younger, I used to have nightmares and I would wake up screaming. The only way my dad could calm me was telling me a story he made up about a place called Candyland. There once was a place called Candyland where the rivers were made of root beer and the trees were all giant lollipops and the bushes were gumdrops and so forth. Was there anything significant to that story? Because I've wondered if somehow it related to fairyland, as I know I've had lots of fairies around me. So my answer is that I get that you have had past lifetimes in the fairy realm. And certainly as a youth, it was easy for you to imagine those times. So the fairy realm is a very magical place. And you found it calming and easy to view in your mind's eye. But I don't get that the Candyland represented anything specifically from your past. Okay, I realize there's a game called Candyland, which I even played as a kid. I don't remember a lot about it, but because of your past lifetimes, the in the Middle Earth and with the fairies, you found it to be a comfort. And then when your dad told you that story, plus it was your dad whom you loved and trusted, giving you that beautiful picture. So, you know, when you're young like that, and with the history that you had, it can be very easy to imagine and see those things. So yeah, no significance, but it did give you comfort, and I can see why. Okay. So you said also, I was told I was an indigo or crystal child when I was born with all my abilities fully open. Is that true? And it says yes. She says, my parents used to fight a lot, and I was also told I could read their minds. So I saw the negative entities and got scared and shut down those gifts and abilities. What do I need to do to get them back? I work on it every day, but I want to know if I should be doing something specific. So again, what I get is you were born with those gifts activated, and I get that due to the stress it came to bring you as you progressed in seeing and knowing, like say the negative entities and such, you were just not willing to allow that anymore. Okay. It was too scary and far too stressful for you. And it wasn't fun anymore. So you did shut that down. I know you've been working on reviving those abilities. And I believe you. And the one thing I don't know if you have forgiven yourself for turning them off. There's something big about that. I mean, we can acknowledge stuff, but forgive yourself for turning off the gifts. Because if not, you know, and you can have the conversation with your higher self about how this was, and acknowledge it, that you understand that, and it may become easier. And if you've been working on it, it could be more about maybe trying too hard, kind of like that other question previous. Sometimes we get a little anxious when things aren't working out as fast as we want to. So again, relaxing may be the key. Do know that your gifts are still there. They haven't gone anywhere. So either way, you will get them back and you will be fully operational. Not sure about timing. Okay, all of us are on our own path. And really, it's a message for all of us. We just need to not compare ourselves with everybody else's gifts and their progress, or our expectations for things too. So just kind of acknowledge the situation, know they're there, and take your time and feel into it with a relaxed and a joyful attitude. And when the time is right, higher self will allow it to occur again. So good luck with that. So on the last question here that I have is with Kathy. And she says, in the 70s, I was in my apartment, asleep in bed, when I was startled awake. The room grew cold and I was frozen. This Darth Vader-like being stood at the front of my bed with another being. They checked me out and had a brief conversation and then left. They haven't returned, or they never returned. Who were they and what did they want? So basically, I get that these two beings, and I was trying to get like what kind of race they were. And so sometimes there's not really a race that has a name to it, or it just wasn't making any sense. So I asked, what planet were they from? And it said they were from the planet Gartha. So they did not have good intentions. They were looking for a human female for specific reasons. So obviously they had a sense that there was a female there in the apartment, and they obviously wanted something specific. So the conversation was about how when they were looking you over and tuning into what you had to offer for their situation, it evidently just didn't meet the criteria. Oh, bummer. So that was a good thing on your part. So something specific, with the DNA or with some kind of, who knows. There was a little something that I'm not going to mention. So let's just say it wasn't good. So that was a good thing for you. So I get that there was not a match and they moved on and found somewhere, till they found it. And so you never saw them again for that reason. So again, in that regard, rejection is protection, right? So I'm glad that nothing happened to you. So I thank you for watching and listening to the questions. And again, I'm just taking it slowly, doing these questions or these answers and stuff. I'll try to do a little bit more as we get going, but I sure appreciate your support as I've started this. It's definitely been stepping into some new territory, and it's been fun, and I do enjoy it. And I really love all the warm, supportive comments and encouragement that I'm getting from you. So keep coming with your questions, and we're going to keep doing the best we can, honey and I, and until we meet again, until the next time. So thank you very much for coming and viewing. Thank you.